But now you talk to Mitch McConnell and he's fine, but he won't talk to the governor. His office won't put out any kind of video from him or anything like that. Look,
Chris Cuomo is once again going after Scott Jennings, and this time it's over Jennings' claim that he had a 17-minute conversation with Mitch McConnell. Cuomo clearly isn't buying the story, and neither are many others. Let's break down the claim, look at the evidence, and I'll share my thoughts. Let's get into it.
developing story, Senator Mitch McConnell. Hey, Scott Jennings, so let me get this straight. Biden couldn't be damaged enough, couldn't be brain dead enough. 25th Amendment, he's not making any decisions. Everybody else is a shadow government. Remember all that shit? But now you talk to Mitch McConnell and he's fine, but he won't talk to the governor. His office won't put out any kind of video from him or anything like that. Look, I don't wish Senator Mitch McConnell any ill. I've been through what he's dealing with in my family. And obviously, his time has passed, and you know it. But you don't want to say it for one really stupid, callow reason. You don't want to lose a seat. That's all that matters to you. And let me tell you something. If it turns out that Senator McConnell, it's time for him to retire, which is long past due, and you'd know that if he had a D after his name, and you were saying that everything's okay right now, then you are everything you said you oppose. Okay? And people are going to come for you for it, and they should.
Okay, so before I get into my comments about how I feel about what Chris Cuomo had to say about Scott Jennings, I want to show you the clip of what Scott Jennings actually said on CNN. This is the story from Scott Jennings that nobody is buying.
You spoke with Mitch McConnell today. What did you talk about? What did he say?
Yeah, he called me this morning before I did my radio show. We talked for about 17 minutes. You know, he talked a lot about the situation with Iran. Talked a little bit about Ukraine and what's going on in Europe. I told him I'd been to the Teddy Roosevelt Library. We talked a little bit about the history of the vice presidency and how Roosevelt had transformed that in the modern presidency. A little history of the Senate. I mean, it was a wide-ranging conversation. I talked to him often. I hadn't talked to him since he'd been in. I'd gotten a few text messages from him, but I hadn't spoken to him. So it was good to hear his voice. Voice sounded strong and sounded like he was keeping up with the news to me.
Did you ask him how he was feeling?
Yeah, he said he was feeling okay, obviously well enough to call me on the phone and obviously well enough to talk to Barrasso and Thune. Now, look, I'm not qualified to discuss any medical issues or give you any information about that. That's really for him or his staff to do. But, I talk to him from time to time and I see him from time to time. And, we had a conversation today about the things that we normally talk about, which are news of the day, political stuff.
Before we go any further, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe Scott Jennings' story about having a 17-minute phone conversation with Mitch McConnell? Personally, I don't buy it. And judging by the reaction online, a lot of other people don't either. After Jennings made that claim, McConnell's team released a single hospital photo, along with a statement saying he briefly lost consciousness, but did not suffer a stroke, heart attack, or receive a cancer diagnosis. For many people, though, that wasn't enough to put the speculation to rest. Chris Cuomo argues this controversy is really about partisan politics, and I think that's the bigger discussion. In today's political climate, too many commentators defend or criticize people based on the party they belong to rather than applying the same standards across the board. That's the criticism Cuomo is making of Jennings. Jennings has also argued that Republicans want to avoid a special election for McConnell's seat, and critics believe that's because they want to keep control of the seat for as long as possible. Whether you agree or disagree, it's clear that political strategy is driving much of this debate. My bigger concern is transparency. If an elected official is unable to perform their duties for an extended period, the public deserves clear and accurate information. Rumors and uncertainty only create more distrust. More broadly, this raises another question. Should there be age limits or regular independent medical evaluations for members of Congress and the president? Many Americans have been debating that issue for years, regardless of political party. If someone is responsible for making decisions that affect the entire country, voters should know they're physically and mentally capable of doing the job. As for Scott Jennings, Cuomo believes he'll eventually have to answer for his comments if they're proven false. I'm not convinced there will be any serious consequences. Political commentators often survive controversial moments, and television networks rarely remove someone over a single dispute. So now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Jennings' account? Do you think the information released about Mitch McConnell has answered the public's questions? And what do you think about the idea of age limits and regular health evaluations for elected officials? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.